Okay, I'm gonna be out here trying to make tea with what is left of my tea plant. That's it right there. I know there's a scientific name for tea, whatever this is, but I don't remember it right now. But tea, I got this at Lowe's probably a couple of years ago. It's done pretty good. Look, it's got some decent leaves on there. And the whole thing with tea, making tea out of tea plants, this is basically what they use in larger scale on tea farms. I know they've got them overseas. We've got a few here in America, actual tea farms. Like, it is a legitimate business. They tend to do well in kind of climates that are similar to here in Louisiana, kind of muggy, tropical, or at least that's the gist that I got whenever I do what little bit of research I do on these. But it's actually done pretty good here. Nothing really special we did with the soil. We did bring in some like a garden mix a while back, but for the most part, it's just regular old garden dirt. It doesn't seem to mind the humidity over here in Southwest Louisiana. And actually probably would be doing pretty good if the chickens would leave it alone. But I'm pretty sure all that is chicken damage. It might be some bug damage. I don't know. I'll probably need to trim it back. But today we are going to actually try to make, I think, some green tea, because I'm not going to dry out the leaves. I might in the future, but pretty much I'm just going to pick it here off of the plant and then just go put it in a cup of boiling water and going to make some tea that way. Oh, I'm over here trying to clean it up a little bit because I haven't really done much to it since this winter. I think if you're doing tea, you want to try to get like the little new shoots off of it, and that's what I'm kind of trying to trim back, trying to get rid of some of the old damaged leaves. I don't know, I might use some of this to actually make my tea. Like I said, this is not a real, scientific experiment. Just kind of figure I've got the tea plant, might as well try to make some tea with it. Yeah, probably gonna cut some of the new shoots off of it, try to clean it up a little bit, get it ready for summer. It's not real big, maybe about a foot off the ground now. I've had it probably for a couple of years. It does okay. It's not really thriving, but it's doing okay. Let me finish trimming it up. I might get some other herbs and make some more herbal tea. But let me finish trimming this up. Alright, most of them are kind of this big, tough one, so we're going to leave those. Probably got some kind of damage. Not really sure what the damage is, whether it's chickens or bugs or whatever. But look, we got a couple of good little ones, and I think this is kind of what they're supposed to look like. Just kind of, you want the little young, tender ones. I'm going to try to let some of them grow, but I'm going to, I don't know, maybe grab a couple of more and do me a little cup like that. And I'll go through like the tea process. Well, I say the tea process. I know, like, this is green tea. If you just take leaves like this, and that's like the least dried out, processed. I mean, I say processed. Whenever they do like your orange tea and your black tea, I know it's a drying process where they kind of take the moisture out because they want it to be able to store in tea bags. But kind of, I guess, the least amount of processing type of tea is your green tea. So I guess we're going to be making some green tea because we're really not going to be drying them out. We're just going to go directly from plant to cup. So I guess we're going to be making some green tea. I know if you have like your black teas that you normally get, and like your Lipton tea, community teas, your tea bags that you get in the grocery store, I think are usually like an orange or a black tea, and that's got something to do with the drying process, how long it's dried, that sort of thing. Not real sure, but I know green tea is like the freshest process. So we're gonna be making some green tea today. All right, we got us a decent little amount right there. I think that's enough to make 1 cup. The ant in there is a little added protein. we'll take him out before we put it in the cup. Of course, I'm gonna wash this. But yep, those are the ones that look like they're not, you know, real tough or too damaged. I know they've all got a little bit of damage, but kind of gave it a good little haircut, little trim back. Maybe get some of that new growth coming in. So we're gonna see how that goes. James and Spicy. Boy and his chicken. Spicy's been a pretty good chicken. Yeah, we've enjoyed having her. All right, we got us some mint and some rosemary in there too. All right. All right, we're not going real fancy with the tea making process. Basically, we are just took the little thing out of there. Ugh, don't mind the mess, it's a little funky. Don't judge me. But basically just pop the pod out of there, and we are gonna do this. We'll put our tea down in here. Yep. The tea. All right. All right, we're gonna see how that goes. Oh, the light's doing kind of a weird thing, but look, I mean, that's kind of pretty. It's probably gonna look better once I take it outside. Like, let me try to take this over here to where the light doesn't show just how little I don't clean my coffee pot. Might have got it a little full to the top, but look at there. Making some green tea. I don't know what it means where if one floats to the bottom or if some sink to the top. I have no clue what that means, but look, we're making our own green tea. And yeah, look, this right here, basically the same thing. They do dry it out for a certain amount of time, just for packaging reasons. And that is basically all that they do. Hang on, let me see if I could open up one of these with one hand. Look, basically what they do is they take the tea leaves, they dry them out. Let's see. Dry them out, grind them up, put them in a tea bag. Let's see if we can get that in focus there. Come on, focus, camera. Anyway, I don't know if you can see that. Green tea, so this just means it wasn't dried out as long. And then over here you get, I don't know why this is not focusing. Orange tea, black tea, what's it, the Pico tea. See if that helps any or not. I don't know why things are not focusing. All right. This type of tea basically is just dried for longer, possibly roasted longer. It's like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm skipping over a bunch of details in the tea making process, but basically this is dried out or possibly roasted for less time than this. That's why you get more of the green color whenever you're making green tea. And that's why whenever you get this, it's more that dark brown color. So it's roasted longer or dried out longer. But still, all comes from the same plant. It's getting a little color to the water. I don't know if you could see that on the camera. Getting a little tint to it. I didn't really grind it up or anything, which I probably should have, but I guess this is more like a herbal tea, whole herb tea from an actual tea plant. Hang on, let me go look up the actual, like the scientific name for this tea plant. No, there you go. Camellia sinensis. I don't know, I'm probably butchering that. That's why I don't give you all the scientific names for it. Apparently I'm not that scientific. I like the science behind things, but look, this is what we got right here. It's what I got growing out in my yard. I'm sure there's different varieties and different strands and things, and that's basically what they got on your tea forms. And probably, I think India is probably the most popular place to have tea. They do have some here in America. I'm trying to think where else they got it, but it's usually your tropical climates. And apparently it's going to go into more detail here, but that's what we got. We got one of those growing in our yard. Well, yeah, not yard, garden. Anyway, Sinensis, Camilla Sinensis. Anyway, tea. We're gonna make some tea from the tea plant we got. And look, this is gonna run through the process. A little bit of harvesting, that's what we did today. Some withering. I think that's where you get like your darker colored teas, if you let it wither longer. We didn't let ours wither. Rolling. Okay. Oxidation, fermentation. There we go. That's what it is. You get your green tea, less oxidation. There's your science behind it. Oxidation. The less oxidation you get, the more green it is. The more oxidation, the more brown. We're doing green tea today. The oxidation process is skipped entirely. Yep, we skipped it entirely. Furling and sorting, didn't do any of that today. Where's all the other stuff? How it's made. It is a very interesting process. I've watched many a different kind of how it's made on the tea making processes. That's why I went ahead, whenever I saw the tea plant at Lowe's, I think I got it at Lowe's, which I was actually kind of surprised. I went ahead and got one. Curious if we could grow it down here. It's done pretty good, minus some chicken damage. And I don't really do a whole lot to the soil. I could probably take a lot better care of it and probably get more out of it. But it's been a pretty good little plant. This is the first time that I've actually made any tea with it. Look, we're gonna go check back on that, on our green tea that we made. Yeah, there's our green tea. Let's see, can I touch it? Oh, it's still pretty hot. Took a couple of sips. I mean, it's still pretty hot, but I mean, it's very, very mild. I mean, tastes like a green tea. I thought this was gonna look better on camera, but really, look, there we go, straight from the plant to the cup. I really think it looks better in a whatever background. It basically just kind of looks like grass in a cup, but it tastes like, you know, regular old green tea. That's literally where it came from. Camilla Sinensis. Still probably butchering the name, but anyway, farm to glass in the grass. I'll sit out here and sip on my green tea. Watch the chickens pick up everything. Didn't really work that hard for it, but you know. There you go. Not a bad glass of green tea. Can't get fresher than it. You really can't. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Watch these goons get in here. Look, chicken wire. That's why I'm gonna have to put up chicken wire. I'll sit here. Like and subscribe. That's always a thing. It does help out. Chickens and green tea. See if I can get through. Ooh.